Hey guys, and welcome to the Back to Me podcast. As you guys know, Back to Me is about letting go of everything that's not truly you, letting go of what's not for your highest good, what's not for your greatest joy. It's about getting back in truth, back in alignment, not by trying to go out and get more and be more and do more, but by letting go of everything that's in the way of you revealing who you truly are. That's what Back to Me is about. It's what the Back to Me group coaching program is about. It's about what Back to Me book is about. It's about letting go of all of the illusions so you can find your truth. So welcome back to this episode. If you're new here, make sure you check out some other episodes if you like this one. We're on Spotify. If you're listening on or watching now, because there's video on Spotify now, and iTunes, maybe you're on YouTube watching this, make sure you check out some other episodes as well. And of course, if you like it, you can leave a rating. Okay, that's how more people see it. So today, guys, and Back to Me, I want to talk about it's not them. It's you. Okay, so this came to me actually last night. I was lying in bed and I was thinking about all the different people who I meet, who I coach, who I see in trainings and workshops I do with groups of people who start something and don't finish. How it's such a culture these days, how it's so accepted for people to look for reasons outside of themselves. Okay, for why they're not happy, why they're not successful, why they're not joyful, why they're not loving, why they're not succeeding. And the topic of this episode is it's not them, it's you. Because we're in such a habit these days of complaining and of blaming, of just simply not taking responsibility. And there's good people out there, good people like you, and you're blaming other people for your situation. You're blaming other people for your money situation. You're blaming other people for your relationship situation. You're blaming other people for your health. You're blaming other people for why you're unhappy, why you're maybe anxious, why you're in the darkness, in the blues sometimes. You're looking outside of yourself instead of taking responsibility and bringing it back to you. Okay, so the truth is it's never them. It's always you. Okay, everything that's out there is a reflection. It's a mirror of what's really going on inside of you. You know, I have people sometimes who even start coaching or group coaching or group mentoring, or they'll be in a workshop or they'll be in an event or different teams that I train, and they'll start off super enthusiastic, and then weeks later, months later, I feel like they're drifting away from the work. Because it is work. I mean, life is a dance, as I always say. It shouldn't be a battle. It shouldn't feel like a battle or a fight all the time. It shouldn't really feel like a game either, because then maybe there's manipulation and different tactics. I like to say life is a dance, okay, that we have to navigate through life. But, you know, being honest about it, sometimes it feels like a battle. Sometimes it feels like a fight. And oftentimes people spend so much energy labeling it a fight, believing it's a fight, thinking it's work, thinking it's heavy, it's hard, that they end up stopping. They end up falling off track, falling off the wagon, okay, getting out of alignment. And oftentimes people say that to me. I feel stuck. I feel like I've gone off track. Excuse me. Excuse me. So oftentimes people say that to me. I've gotten off track. I'm stuck. And they think it's because of some external thing. Okay, where they don't realize it's lack of awareness within themselves. It's lack of clarity within themselves. And ultimately, they just don't know where to look. You know, I said this in a previous episode. Why coaching and mentoring is so valuable is because, you know, I can only speak for myself. I know where to look because I've just seen it so much. I've done it in my own journey. I think what separates me from other coaches, I've done all the work on myself. I've gone deeper into myself than probably most people have ever gone into anything in their lives. And some of you who watch my ayahuasca video, you know, and I've done a lot more after that. I've done a lot of work on myself that most people aren't willing. I've gone to places most people aren't willing to go. That's how I can speak. Everything I'm speaking of is work done on me first. But then it's, you know, being an entrepreneur for over 13 years, coaching for over 10 years, traveling the world, speaking on stage since 2007. Okay, which is, you know, 15, 16 years speaking on stage, working with people, dealing with people. I've just seen it. I just know where to look. And anyone, you know, that does one-to-one with me or when I speak to people, they're always like, how do you know that? How do you know that about me? Because I've just seen it. I can read it. I just know what to look for, but I just instinctively, intuitively see it and feel it within people. And I think a lot of people fall off track, get stuck in a rut because they don't know where to look. They don't know where to look. They don't know what they're seeing. They don't know what it means. and they don't really have clarity and focus on what to stay on track with. And unfortunately, even people are getting training, or they're part of a group coaching program, or they're part of something else, they can still find ways to distance themselves. So you might say, well, how do they go off track if they're getting training, or if they're reading books, or if they have a coach? Because they distance themselves. They peel off. They fade away into obscurity. They remove themselves. They don't show up for the calls. They don't show up for the sessions. They stop reading the book. They stop listening to the podcast. It doesn't happen by accident. And these are the same people who say, it's because of X, it's because of Y, it's because of Z. It's never because of me. That's what they'll think. It's because X, Y, or Z, not because of me. Well, it is because of you. Because you allowed yourself to drift off into the abyss. You allowed yourself to fall off track. You allow yourself to get stuck in inactivity, to get stuck in worry, in doubt, in insecurity. You chose that. It's your choice to stay where you are. It's your fault you're not on the calls. It's your fault you're not picking up the book. It's your fault you're not doing the session. It's nobody else's fault. It's definitely not my fault. Because every single person that works with me, when they show up and they do the work, they free themselves. They get insights, they get clarity, they shift in awareness. The people who do the work get the results. It's as simple as that. And there's no arriving. Remember, it's a journey. We have to keep showing up for ourselves. We have to keep revealing the layers of stuff, because we're always collecting. We're always collecting data and information and illusions and beliefs and insecurities and doubts. That's why I always say there's no arriving at back to me until we die. Until, like, before we're born and after we die, we're back in true spirit that God made us. But on this human journey, our mission is to evolve. It's to peel off the layers. It's to reveal who we truly are. It's to get back to me. That's what I believe our life's mission is. And I was thinking about this last night as well in bed. I was thinking I could sit down on Joe Rogan and talk. You ask me any question in the world, I can defend this. I can be on any podcast in the world. I can talk to anybody, and it's happened already on other YouTube channels, radio stations where I've been interviewed. There's no holes in this. There's no argument for this, because this is truth. Because the truth is, everything comes back to you. You have to take responsibility. It doesn't mean that other people aren't assholes. It doesn't mean that other people don't do things that aren't helpful or that are hurtful. It doesn't mean that. I'm not discounting that or taking away from that at all. But everything happens in your life, I believe, happens for you, not to you. I believe we are and some of you might find that hard to hear. It might be hard to swallow, because for sure things happen in life. You feel, why me? And it hurts. But all our choices are cumulative. Good compounds, bad compounds. Good choices compound, bad choices compound. Life accumulates, okay? And I believe we have the free will to choose in every moment who we want to be, to learn the lesson from joy or to learn it from pain, to learn it long term or to learn it in a short period of time. It's our choice. Okay, but everything that's happening, one of the chapters in the Back to Me book is called Your Chaos is Your Communication. I believe all the chaos in your life is communicating with you to move your ass, to wake up, to heal yourself, to free yourself. All of your suffering is because you're staying stuck in your place. You're choosing to stay where you are. You're blaming your ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, or husband. You're blaming your boss. You're blaming your co-worker. You're blaming your friend that's a bitch or the guy that's an asshole. I know some of you don't like the language. I do my best, but some points need to be emphasized. Okay? Sometimes people are bitchy. Some people are assholes. And my girlfriend's hiding behind her hands now because she hates cursing. She absolutely hates cursing. And I knew as I said that she was gonna hide. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he's cursing again. I said to my girlfriend, I'm Irish, we curse. She says, I'm not Irish, I don't curse. I love that about her. She's very pure. I think we'll have to bring her on camera someday. And I will not be cursing that day because I'll get loads of dirty looks across the table. Anyway, what was I talking about? I do this, as you guys, any regular listener knows, I go off on tangents here. But getting back to the point of you not taking responsibility, that's what it all comes down to. It comes down to you not being willing to face yourself. Okay? You looking at things that you think are outside of your control, and it looks like that. It often appears that way, that chaos is out of my control. But there's a history of choices that have gotten you to this place. There's a legacy of choices you've made that have gotten you to where you are right now. Okay? And yeah, the people who are being bitchy or assholey, that are rude, that you don't like, well, why are you engaging with them? Why are you spending time with them? And you might say, well, they're maybe in my family or they're in my work. You can still limit association. Maybe that's not the job for you. Maybe that's not the relationship for you. Maybe you're not supposed to live so close to your parents or your sister or your brother or whatever. You have to start to question things. I said this many times before. The more conclusions you make about yourself, the less alive you become. So you might think, well, that person is rude or mean or selfish or whatever. And you think that's just the way it is. It's not just the way it is. It's the way you've allowed it to be. So you have to raise your standards for you. You have to, what are your non-negotiables for the quality of life for you? You have to raise them. You tolerate too much. And the reason you tolerate so much with others is because you tolerate so much within yourself. Because you don't have the bar high enough for yourself. Okay, so again, it looks like the chaos is from other people, but it's communication, it's contrast. It's telling your ass to move, to make a change, to wake up. That's what it's telling you. Everything, all the aspects of your life that you've been constantly overanalyzing, feeling bad about, it's telling you to move. It's telling you to wake up. That's it, you're asleep. So everything is happening for you, not to you. And I know that for myself, because I know my bullshit excuses in my head. When I'm complaining about things, I can clearly see it's communication. Just do the opposite of what you're always doing. Do the opposite of your pattern. Do the opposite of your program. That's where your solution lies. When your pattern is to do something over and over again and you result in pain or doubt or sadness or insecurity, do the opposite of that. Okay, if it results in low energy, poor health, lack of vitality, do the opposite of that. If it results in arguing and fighting, do the opposite of that. Okay, so again, it's not them, it's you. You are responsible. There's nobody else here. It's up to you. If it's going to be, it's up to me. Did you ever hear that? If it's going to be, it's up to me. So you have to stop looking outside of yourself. Again, the podcast, back to me. Back to who? Back to me, which is back to you. It's not them, it's you. I don't know how many times I have to say it before you realize it and hear it. It's not me, it's not him, it's not her, it's not them, it's you. Okay, and if you're lucky enough to have access to a coach or to a mentor, or you're listening to good podcasts or reading good books, you have to, number one, continually do that. You have to feed your mind with that consistently, repetitively. And number two, you have to apply it. You have to use it. You have to take action. Okay, it's no good doing something for a while, falling off the wagon and say, it doesn't work. And that's why I speak with every single person before they get on my coaching programs, because I want to see, are they serious? I want to know how important it is to them. How urgent is it for them now? The amount of people who waste my time booking calls, and I know, I often said this, when I ask 1 to 10, how important is it for you to take action now? And people say 10, 99% of them never do anything. They don't, because they love the story. It sounds good to say 10 or 11 out of 10. They never do it. The people who say it's about a 7 or an 8, I can tell it's real for them. The odd person who says 10 does something, but the majority who say 10, they never do anything. They just love the story. It sounds good. And they'll find an excuse. They'll find a reason. Okay, now, by me speaking to everyone, it reduces the amount of bullshitters who get onto my courses and who don't waste my time. I coach everyone one-to-one for 3 months minimum, because it takes time. So I don't want to spend 3 months with someone who's going to waste my time. Some people get through the net and they end up wasting my time. Very few though, because I have a good bullshit detector. So very few people get through it. And for the group coaching, most people who come on do the work and show up. But the odd people get through where they convince you and they convince themselves they want to do the work, but then they fall off the wagon. Again, for the back to me perspective, that's okay too, because everything is perfect. If they fall off, it's okay as long as they get back on. And that's what this episode is about, for you to wake up, to get back on track, to take responsibility again, to stop allowing yourself to fall short, to sell yourself short because you think it's because of other people or other events or other situations. I want this to be your wake-up call to shake it off. Taylor Swift. Enter Taylor Swift right now, David, please, into the podcast. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. If he does enter that into the video, I'll be very impressed right now. Taylor Swift in the top corner. You have to shake it off. Okay? You have to wake up and say, it's me. It's not me. It's not them. It's not my work. It's not my parents. It's not my sister. It's not my friend. It's me. If a situation isn't serving me, I have to remove myself from it. If something isn't aligned to me anymore, I have to change direction. If you change your direction, you will ultimately change your destination. If you stay in the same direction, you're going to continuously land in the same destination over and over and over again. And now it's 5 years later, 10 years later, and you're looking at yourself and you think, I'm still thinking the same thoughts. If you've been thinking the same thoughts as you were last year, you're failing yourself. If you're thinking the same stuff from 5 years ago, it's no one else's fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not, anybody else, your country's fault, your city's fault. It's your fault. So this episode is really just a wake-up call where I get to tell you it's all your fault. Aren't you glad you tuned in today? What a blessing for your ears. It's all you. And it's some of the most beautiful conversation you can have when you can say that to yourself. It's me. It's actually me. It's my stuff. I'm repeating the same. I'm feeling the same feelings over and over. I'm thinking the same thoughts over and over. It's time for me to let go of this shit. It's not serving me. I have to let it go. Shake it off. Taylor Swift. So that's going to be a short episode today, I think. I don't think I have anything else to say on that, guys. Only don't wait another day, because inactivity is going to just breed more worry, more doubt, more insecurity. Action breeds confidence. Take a step. It doesn't matter what the step is. And if you've been beating yourself up for long, and that's not what this episode is about, to beat yourself up to make you feel guilty. That's, again, you falling into it's them, not me. So be aware of that. Again, awareness is the key to freedom. It's not to beat yourself up and make you feel bad about it. It's to wake you up. To say, okay, stop now. Draw a line. You have to just draw a line. That's what a decision is. Make a decision now. That's it. Done. You have to be willing to have a conversation with yourself sometimes. Say, enough now. Enough is enough. At what point am I going to draw the line and say enough is enough? That's today, guys. Today. You draw the line. You say it's now. You don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to say, I wasted. You didn't waste time. If you wait till tomorrow, you've wasted time. Until today, you haven't wasted time because you didn't hear this message for you. You didn't know this truth for you. So don't even waste more days feeling guilty or overanalyzing or saying, I should have done something sooner. Yeah, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Okay? Do it now. Make a change today. When I encourage you guys, if you're ready to work to book a call with me, there's a lot of people who I don't work with, who I don't think it's the right fit. I send them to other coaches. I think I send more people to other coaches than coaches get themselves. I send a lot of people because if it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit for me or for them. So if you want to book a call, you want to find out the next step, yes, Back to Me coaching program is an incredible, powerful program. It's yearly, 2 calls a month for every year. So you have a yearly membership. No, even if you fall off, and I've had people, I had one girl, she fell off for a couple of months. She's back on track. I'm so glad I'm back on track. I fell off. So guess why it's a yearly membership? Because I understand life. I'm on this journey. I know exactly how easy it is to fall off. I know exactly how distracting this world is and how distracting our fear, ego, and doubt is. That's why I do a yearly membership on that. That's why on my one-to-one I do 3 months, because it takes time to create change. You've decades of programming, guys, years and years of programming. You're not going to undo that in a couple of conversations or meditations. It's going to take time. But if you book a call and I feel it's not for you, I will absolutely recommend another coach for you. If it's not the perfect fit for us, I will recommend someone else. But book a call, have a conversation. If this has been your wake-up call, and maybe it's, at a training or event at work, maybe it's books you're reading, maybe it's podcasts you're listening to, just take action. It doesn't matter if it's coaching or not. Coaching is going to get you there faster. You're going to save a lot of time, money, and energy if you invest in someone to help you navigate your mind. And that's what I do as a coach, is elevate you out of your current position to see things from a new perspective, to let go of all of the stories and illusions that you're trapped in consciously and unconsciously. So book a call. Also send me a message on Instagram if you like this episode. If you like the episodes, you like the other episodes, please leave a rating, because the more people that see this, the better. This is all for the service of others, to help others wake up, to find their truth, to get back in alignment. If you have friends or family that need to hear this, send them this podcast today. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment. Spotify, Apple, wherever else you're listening to the podcast, please leave a like, subscribe. We're back in the track. There's more and more episodes coming all the time. So if you're an existing listener for a long time, I thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. If you're new, welcome. I hope you're enjoying. As you'll see from my style, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to give you the truth, because the truth will set you free. Nobody wants temporary motivation. There's all that. And I was giving people for years different strategies. I talk about this on the first episode of What Is Back to Me. For 15 years, I was teaching about how to think and how to speak, and all of that is useful still, the information. But the ultimate truth is letting go of all of the illusion, letting go of everything that's not you. That is how you awaken. That is how you awaken. And that's what the mission is here. There's nothing wrong with what everybody else is teaching. It's fine to a point. I was teaching it for myself, but I had that personal awakening when I saw all of that. I don't need to speak on that anymore. Only as a supplement to this truth. I speak on these different strategies at times, but it comes back to this truth of back to me, letting go of everything you are not, so you can take that path back to your true self, your most fulfilled self, your most powerful self. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope it's resonating with you. I hope today is the wake-up call for you. And, I'm very excited for all of you who are taking action. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful gift for me when I see clients taking action. Like every call, seeing things click into place. And suddenly they're navigating through life in a totally different way. It's so empowering. It's so freeing. It's inspiring. And that's my wish for you today. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed that episode, guys. If you'd like to find out more about working with me, you can visit theaidanobrien.com. That's THE, You can find out more about what I do, my coaching, my mentoring, or if you want me to deliver a training or a keynote for your company or organization, you can do everything through theaidanobrien.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Aidan O'Brien Official. I love hearing from you. I'd like to know if you're enjoying the podcast, or maybe there's some topics you'd like to hear more of. You can find me on Instagram. Also, I have a YouTube channel under Aidan O'Brien, and also the Back to Me podcast has its own YouTube channel. So make sure you share this with a friend if you like what you heard. Again, love to hear from you, and I will see you soon.